It's that time to turn on your radio. Tune in now for great songs, old and new. Roger Williams on Trent Sound Radio.
If you saw Venus in the evening sky as the sun went down this evening, absolutely gorgeous. A wonderful sight as I cycled over to the Trent Sound studio for tonight's World of Difference. Plenty to keep us amused over the next 3 hours. In hour one, there'll be quite a few artists who you've nominated that should have been nominated in the Radio 2 Folk Awards. Splendid people, all of them, in the Radio 2 Folk Awards. Nothing against any of them, but they fish in a slightly limited pool. We're going to deepen and broaden that pool tonight. In the second hour, delighted to bring you an interview I did a couple of weeks ago with the wonderful Daria Kulesh. She's got an album out called Eternal Child. You're going to love the music, and I hope enjoy the interview. That'll play shortly after 8 o'clock. And hour 3, as ever, pretty much anything goes. Plenty of room for manoeuvre too. So if you'd like to influence the course of developments this evening, studio@trentsound.com. Studio@trentsound.com is the best way to do it. Try and follow Facebook and Twitter as well, but studio@trentsound.com is my preferred way of doing things. So I hope you're going to stick around for the next 3 hours. We're going to kick off with an optimistic song, as we generally do. Played this last week. Great track from the Folk Stock stable. It's Pete Guy and Weathered the Storm.
Staring out upon a white night sky, looking like a map of our lives, full of big dippers and littered plows, of highs and lows, truths and white lies. We've weathered the storm, yeah, we've weathered the storm, into the clouds and out the other side, through wind and rain drenched skies, bearing the scars of the parts that we tried, love intact, hope that survived. The waves have been like 60 feet high, trying their best to capsize, bailing out the water, doing all but go under. Sea spray's been blinding our eyes. We've weathered the storm, yeah, we've weathered the storm, into the clouds and out the other side, through wind and rain drenched skies, bearing the scars of the paths that we tried, love intact, hope that survived. Holding on, we are holding on, coming out the other side. Holding on, we are holding on, coming out the other side. And out the other side, through wind and rain drenched skies, bearing the scars of the parts that we tried, love intact, hope that survived.
His songwriting's been compared to Ray Davis. I think I hear a little bit of John Sebastian with a loving spoonful in there too. He weathered the storm. Terrific work from Pete Guy. Looking forward to playing more of his music in the weeks to come here on A World of Difference. Now, One or two of the nominations that came in for alternative artists who should have been in the Radio 2 Folk Awards nominations, quite a few of those nominations came from Ange Hardy. So it seems to me to be entirely right to play something by her. And if taken together with the fact that there are so very few songs about librarians, I couldn't really resist the Young Librarian. This is Ange Hardy.
There was a young librarian, he had hair of red, his skin was the brightest white I had seen of yet. And there was a fair young lady, she had a heart of gold, she came through the open door to read her stories old. It was dark and it was cold, it was a winter's evening, it was a given it had been foretold she would not be leaving. Oh, she would not be leaving. And there in the darkest corner, all dressed in shades of black, a young mother and her daughter silently were sat. The eye of the fair young lady shot fast to meet the pair, but only a book remained, for there was no one there. It was dark and it was cold, it was a winter's evening, it was a given it had been foretold she would not be leaving. Oh, she would not be leaving. And there sat the fair young lady on a splintered dusty chair, opened the book and read with caution and with care. The air thick with eerie silence clogged in the young girl's throat, and there were the two dark figures holding up a note. It was dark and it was cold, it was a winter's evening, it was a given it had been foretold she would not be leaving. Oh, she would not be leaving. Watch out for the young librarian, he has air of red, he'll take from you that life you lead with spells of fear and dread. He'll lock you inside the pages, bind you with leather thread, and rip from you that heart of gold to take with him to bed. It was dark and it was cold, it was a winter's evening, it was a given it had been foretold she would not be leaving. Oh, she would not be leaving.
Songs of swinging librarians here on A World of Difference. That was Ange Hardy and the Young Librarian. And Ange has suggested some terrific artists that I'll be playing during the course of the first hour here of A World of Difference, and maybe in the third hour too, one or two in there. Very good evening to my first two faithful emailers. Just let me clear my throat. So, very good evening to Paul. Nice to know you're there. He describes himself as an island monkey. I'm not entirely sure why. Need to explore that a little bit further. Two of Paul's choices a little bit later on in the programme. And, of course, Peter over there in Hamburg. A World of Difference has begun, and Roger's music turns me on. I'll listen to the very end on my PC, tuned in to Trend. Yeah, that very nearly works, Peter. Congratulations. Anyway, very good evening to you. And we're going to close the programme tonight with one of the suggestions that you made via email. So thank you for that. Right, now let's get down to business then. One of the acts that was nominated in the Alternative Folk Awards, and I guess this I think would be in the duo category, I do believe it would be, and so I'm going to follow it with an act that was nominated for Best Duo, but an act I've never heard of before, and it's my loss, that's for sure. So those of you that know about Nine Barrow will know about how good they are. This is Summer Fires.
Behind the field, beyond the corner coming year, and see between summer fire. The dancing flames of summer fire. Jump higher, we'll dance tonight across the fire. You jump high, but I jump high, we'll dance tonight across the fire. Lead the ox up the winding track until we see the outline black of the village church's tall dark spire. Walk that beast around the fire. Walk that beast around the fire. Jump high, I will dance tonight across the fire. You jump high, but I jump high, I will dance tonight across the fire. Tie the ox to the hawthorn tree, hitch our clothes to our knees. They move in sprightly dance. Hold back winter's slow advance. Hold back winter's slow advance. Jump high, we'll dance tonight across the fire. You jump high, but I jump high, we'll dance tonight across the fire. You jump high, but I jump high, we'll dance tonight across the fire. Jump high and we'll dance tonight across the fire. You jump high, but I jump higher. We'll dance tonight across the fire.
This is Greg Russell and Kieran Algar.
You're listening to A World of Difference on Trent Sound with Roger Williams.
Yeah.
Wraps around me in sheets of steely grey. I see tendrils round me, you melt them all away. So take that snowy blanket, for me it holds no charm. You are the sun I feed upon, I need a season in your arms, a season in your arms. Reborn into the springtime, when everything is new. Icy blast can cut so fast, and mist blocks out my view. You are the shield to guard me, the rising gale you calm. Let me find some peace of mind I need a season in your arms, a season in your arms. You're the sun in winter, pleasant summer breeze, the gentle rain that nourishes all that's best in me. Sun of summer can dry the heart of all. You are the balm to soothe the hurt and quench me when I fall. The fire lives deep inside me and gentle things it harms. My troubled soul you do control. I need a season in your arms, a season in your arms. Through the sleet that cuts me, through the night that has no end, you keep me warm and sheltered, a troubled heart you mend. That fall in autumn show future to my eye. Your love can tame the seasons, I've come to realize. So walk with me the year long and soothe me with your charm. My torments mend, I need to spend a season in your arms, a season in your, a season in your arms, a season in your arms.
Well, they are very, very fine, aren't they? Greg Russell and Kieran Alger, A Season in Your Arms. Quite rightly, they've been nominated as one of the duos in the Radio 2 Folk Awards, but Minestrone missed out. I'm saying Minestrone because when you put 9 Barrow in, which is what they're really called, an automatic spell check correct thing identifies them as Minestrone. But that was 9 Barrow before that and Summer Fires. And looking forward to hearing much more from them here on A World of Difference and wishing them well in future awards ceremonies. Taking a break now from the alternative nominations for the Folk Awards to respond to one or two requests that have come in. Matthew Wildman, very good evening to you. Nice to know that you are there. And he's doing the dishes. Maybe Thomas has been settled down and is about to snooze for a very long time. We can but hope. But this is to help you do the dishes. Jake Thackeray, the hair of the widow of Brid.
She was a widow in Bridlington, she was the widow of Brid, small and bonny at 42, with eyes of very unsettling blue, and what she thought she ought to do, she did, whatever she thought she ought to do, she did the widow of Brid. My only darling's dead he is, and all my children grown, the house has emptied, all the lovebirds flown. In place of widow's weeds I let my coal black hair grow long, as glossy as a blackbird's wing. As cocky as his song, she found that she could please herself. She could the widow of Brid, swim in the sea when she felt hot, stay in bed when she did not, and she began to laugh a lot. She did, to sing and dance and laugh a lot. She did the widow of Brid. And sometimes she would drop the shopping, leave the bed unmade, and sit till evening on the esplanade. She'd sometimes go to church and call on Jesus by his name. She fed as any blackbird would. Whenever hunger came, she learned to play the violin. She did the widow of Bray, and Saturday night in a drinking shop she jumped upon the countertop and fiddled till the dancers dropped. She did, stomping upon the copper top. She did the widow of Bray. And she was fond of fishing boats and all the beardy crew, and partial to a salty kiss or two. And some of them would gruffly whisper, marry me and stay. But blackbirds do their singing from a different bush each day. She had a massive motorbike, she had the widow of Bray. And so she could, when so she wished, ride back home early morning-ish with her hair in the air and smelling of fish. She did. And every time of a different fish, she did the widow of Bray. And though she did no harm, the neighbours sniffed as neighbours do, and day by day her cankerous rancor grew. And many a pair of front room curtains twitched and shook with rage, for she was wild as blackbirds are, and they were in a cage. They came and broke her window panes, they did of the widow of Bray. Spat upon her cycle shed, dragged her out of a Sunday bed, and cropped her hair and shaved her head. They did. They chopped the hair and shaved the head, they did of the widow of Bray. And when her sobs and hiccups stopped, she tidied everywhere. She cleaned the shed, she swept up all the hair. Some few of them came back in shame to ask her would she stay. But if you ever startle blackbirds, blackbirds go away. She sold up house and bought a wig did the widow of Bray. And unrepenting, undeterred, she thundered off to cause a stir in poor old bloody Scarborough. She did. Forget the slit in the window pane, bugger, but I'm still the same. My hair will always grow again. It did. My hair will always grow again. It did. On the widow of Bray.
The wonderful wordplay of Jake Thackeray and the hair of the widow of Brid, and that came on the air simply as a result of an email to studio@trentsound.com, studio@trentsound.com. So if there's something that you'd like to hear that you think might be on the system, do let me know, and if it isn't, I'll try and sort it out for next week or a future week here on the programme. So that's for you, Matthew, and Sarah, and Thomas. Hope everything is all well in your world. We'll get back to some of the nominations, the alternative nominations for Folk Awards that have come in, mostly via Twitter. Very good response via Twitter. Delighted about that. After we've heard from somebody who made a terrific impression at the South Wales Folk Festival this last June last year. This is a guy called Alex Roberts, and the track is called Scratch Marks.
have been broken, shackles undone. We're now for your corruption and the guilty one. When I want you. When I want you. Touch me completely all through flesh and bone. Disgrace me completely well before everyone. When I want you. And now I want. Suffering lady now, suffering lady now, suffering lady now. Whoa. You have the love, you have the sea. Mine is a river and sail sovereignty. See, I want you. See, I want you. If I had the reason, if I had the greed, I would relive your black memories. And I want you. See, I want you.
Hey, great stuff. Alex Robertson, Scratch Marks, and he made a terrific impression at the South Wales Folk Festival last June. Now, next week's programme, if all goes according to plan, and frankly it seldom does, Martin Smalley from the Gate 2 South Wales Folk Festival will be with me next week, and he's about to unveil some very, very interesting new acts for that festival. The lineup's already pretty good, but he's going to tell us about the latest acts to appear at June in Southwell, and looking forward to hearing from him very much indeed. That should be around about this time next week here on A World of Difference. Now, meanwhile, let's get back to your Alternative Folk Award nominations, and I was indebted to Andy Logan for nominating, again, a guy I hadn't heard of before, but what a very fine singer he is, as we shall shortly find out. This is Ewan McLennan and the Granite Cage.
got you new, John, where they want you. You'll claw the walls before they're through with you, and all your demons come to haunt you. You'll curse the day, you'll fear the night, you'll live on water and stale breed, until your flesh tweens and you're hosting up your bleed in the granite cage at Peterhead. Oh, Don John, we all you got. There's friends outside who'll no forsake ye. We pale blue forgets me not. I fear there's time they're out to break ye. Hear the measured steps outside, psychopaths decked out in navy twill. Hold your breath until you're sure they've passed yourselves. Sadistic bambots out to maim and kill. Someone screams, thank Christ it wasn't you. One mere poor bastard driven off his head. The drugs are kicking in, your mind is all breed, in the granite cage at Peterhead. Oh, Don John, we all you got. There's friends outside who'll no forsake ye. We pale blue forgets me not. I fear this time they're out to break ye. Huddled in your bed at night, to call to sleep and fear to dream. You paid the price in full that martyrs have to pay, who dare to swim against the stream. Regrets and doubts you must have had your share, for in every flower that grows there's a weed. You sacrificed your life for socialism's creed, in the granite cage at Peterhead. Oh, Don John, we all you got. There's friends outside who'll no forsake ye. We pale blue forgets me not. I fear this time they're out to break ye. We pale blue forget me not. The favoured flower or dear MacLean. You dare to blossom where cement and cobblestone join forces to make sure you stand alone. But in every crack on another flower grows. The days are yet to come, but keep speed. When all the wee flowers rise up and spread their seed o'er the granite cage at Peterhead. Oh, Don John, we all you got. There's friends outside who'll no forsake ye. We pale blue forgets me not. I fear this time they're out to break ye. The iron door bangs shut.
This is Kim Lowings. You're listening to A World of Difference on Trent Sound with Roger Williams.
Of all the trades in England, begging is the best. For when a beggar's tired, you can lay him down to rest. And a begging I will go, and a begging I will go, a begging I will go, and a begging I will go. Well, I've a pocket for me oatmeal, another for me rye, a bottle by my side that I can drink when I am dry. And a begging I will go, and a begging I will go, a begging I will go, and a begging I will go. A patch is on me back and a black patch on me rest, and a-begging I will go, and a-begging I will go, a-begging I will go, and a-begging I will go, a-begging I will go, and a-begging I will go, a-begging I will go, and a-begging I will go, a-begging I will go, and a-begging I will go, a-begging I will go, and a-begging I will go.
Yes, Ange Hardy, why wasn't Kim Lowings on the list of the Radio 2 nominees for the Folk Awards this year? She absolutely should have been. Terrific performer, lovely person, and that's a great song, the Begging song from Kim Lowings. And before that, we heard Ewan McLennan, and he tells a good story, doesn't he, with his song, The Granite Cage. Like I've been saying all along, I've got absolutely nothing against the artists who have been nominated for the awards. They are all excellent. My gripe is that an unaccountable group of unnamed people tend to nominate the same folk over and over again. That isn't entirely true. I exaggerate to make the point, but there's something in that. But one of the people I was delighted to see nominated again for one of the best new songs of the year, or last year, really, strictly speaking. This is a very, very fine song indeed, from a wonderful artist, Jez Lowe. And I've had a couple of very similar conversations about Jez Lowe with people in the last week or 10 days, people that have perhaps underestimated Jez Lowe. And I think I've fallen into that trap myself. He's not an in-your-face singer or performer. He's much more subtle than that. And one or two people, Stella and Gary, up there in Ilkeston, have made the same point, really. It's easy to underestimate Jez Lowe, but impossible to overlook a wonderful song, The Pitmen Poets.
We sing our bands to sleep with songs that workers made. Thrill them with black dust bogeymen when day is done. But these ghosts and mighty giants are no fairy tales, but men that walked amongst us once, but now they're gone. These things I know, for the Pitmen poets told me so. These things I know, for the Pitmen poets told me so. They jowled and listened as they hacked and paid. A lifetime lit by lamplight, not by sky or sun. And through the ground beneath our feet they chewed and licked. Some were swallowed with a mighty swipe of the earth's own tongue. These things I know, for the Pitmen poets told me so. These things I know, for the Pitmen poets told me so. And waited, ever strong and bold, and laughed and loved despite those many mouths to feed, and damned the fat cat masters and the lies they told, as they sacrificed good men to the gods of gain and greed. These things I know, for the Pitmen poets told me so. These things I know, for the Pitmen poets told me so. Then the pulley wheels and white machines grew cold and still. Unions lay broken by deceit and lies. Sad eyes were left to stare down from a pit-boot hill. But the glory of the lives they led will never die. These things I know, for the Pitman poets told me so. These things I know, for the Pitman poets told me so. These things I know, for the Pitman poets told me so. These things I know, for the Pitman poets told me so.
What a brilliant song from a marvellous singer-songwriter, the evergreen Jez Lowe. How long has he been around? And he just turns out wonderful song after wonderful song. But for every acknowledged and acknowledged songwriter who produces a wonderful song, there's maybe somebody a bit under the radar who's produced a song which is absolutely fantastic. This is my favourite song in the world this week. I mean, it will change, obviously, but you get enthusiasms, don't you? My favourite song in the world this week is The Kite Song by Patsy Reed.
The Sunday after, there was laughter in the air. Everybody had a kite, they were flying everywhere, and all the trouble went away, and it wasn't just a dream. All the trouble went away, and it wasn't just a dream. In the middle of the night, we try with all our might to light up little light down here. In the middle of the night, we dream of a million kites flying high above the sadness and the fear. Little sister, just remember as you wandered through the blue, the little kite that you sent flying on a Sunday afternoon. Made of something light is nothing, made of joy that matters too. How the little dreams we dream are all we can really do. In the middle of the night, the world turns with all its might, a little diamond-colored blue. In the middle of the night, we keep sending little kites until our little light gets through.
That is one excellent song. I was going to say Pasty Reed, because that's what my spell check has come up with. My spell check is obviously obsessed with food, because Nine Barrow came out as minestrone and Patsy Reed came out as Pasty Reed. So obviously a food-obsessed spell check on my Kindle, on which I try to keep the playlist so that producer Paul can bung them up on a website in the fullness of time. And yeah, what a great song that was. Why wasn't Patsy Reed nominated for a Radio 2 Folk Award? I don't know. And you make a very, very fine point, and I will look into Half Acre. That
promises to be my favourite song in the world next week, apparently. I'll give it a listen. We'll do it next week here on A World of Difference. Outrage in some quarters that Luke Jackson wasn't on the list.
Dreams that were right until you wake, and so it seems reality is more fake until you fall to sleep. And you are just the same, you flatter to deceive. To you it's just a game, but when you call, don't come crying to me. And all your wrong intentions, and all your wasted lines, and all your miscomprehensions, the rules you chose not to abide. So now you'll run and hide and go. Be gone without a trace, don't let them know you are ever in this place. Go ahead and leave. Just leave it all behind. And you find yourself alone walking this road that you travel on your own, so you will grieve. But there's hope just down the line, and all your wrong intentions, all your wasted lines, and all your miscomprehensions, the rules you chose not to abide. So now you're running home. Tell me lies, listen to my intentions, learn to compromise. What do you do now when you're just wasting time? You've gone too far, now you can't run and hide. And we are not the same, you will believe the lies that you have weaved, but soon you'll fall from grace. And all your wrong intentions, all your wasted lines, and all your miscomprehensions, you chose not to abide. So now you're running hide. Now you're running hide. Oh, now you're running hide. Now you're running
That's Run and Hide from the hugely impressive Luke Jackson, one that got away when it came to the Radio 2 Folk Award nominations. We'll close the hour with one of my ones that got away, one lass that didn't make it onto the list, and I think she should have done. But hour two, we're going to take a distinctly a Russian feel to the programme. And the main part of the second hour will be my interview with Daria Kulesh from the Folkstock record label. She's got a wonderful new album out called Eternal Child. There'll be music from that album and my conversation with her after the news at 8 o'clock. But first, Marina Florence. She should have been on the list. This is Getting Away.
Lately I've seen a change in you and a little change in me. We're habitually entwined, and day to day I activity, and I passed you in the hallway, and once again on the stairs, and I was taken aback when you didn't even notice I was there. Lately we've been running round life's most demanding ways, and if we had the time to speak, don't think we'd know what to say. So wrapped up in trivial things, we didn't read the signs. Though the cracks were there for all to see, we pretended we were fine. So I'm getting away from all this, getting away, it'll be bliss, 'cause I know a place where no one will find me, just a little way from here. I'm gonna make a little home from home and simply disappear. Last night I reconsidered where we're going and where we've been, and it made a lot of sense to me to start over again. And knowing that we always want the things that we can't have, I thought that if I wasn't here, you're bound to want me back. So I'm getting away from all this, getting away, it'll be bliss, 'cause I know a place where no one will find me, just a little way from here. I'm gonna make a little home from home and simply disappear. And you wake up late one morning with a space there in the bed, and you think my shoes and coat must be laying in another place instead. And you call me from the kitchen, search from room to room, but all too soon you realize there's nothing more that you can do. 'Cause I'm getting away from all this, getting away, it'll be bliss, 'cause I know a place where no one will find me, just a little way from here. I'm gonna make a little home from home, simply disappear. When things have finally settled down and we both pondered for a while, well, I'll turn up on your doorstep with a big happy smile, and our love will be much stronger, and those other little things won't matter anymore, 'cause we're together once again. And we're getting away from all this, getting away, it'll be bliss, 'cause I know a place where no one will find us, just a little way from here. We're gonna make a little home from home and simply disappear.